Yo, everybody, it's your boy Hodlnomics, aka Good Time Sancho, back in the house. It's been a while since I've made some YouTube videos, but it's time to get back in the game, everybody. For those who don't know, if you have recently followed me from some of the other NFT projects that I have done, it actually kind of all started with a YouTube. That's kind of, where I kind of demonstrated kind of some of the stuff that I know. And it was really based on a lot of the research that I do, right? If you don't know, I'm a research sleuth. I'm always digging into stuff, finding good opportunities. And when the market was pumping, I mean, it was great. I mean, it was awesome. And then, I kind of had to take a break because there was nothing pumping, nothing super exciting, worth sharing with you guys. But now, honestly, like I'm back in the game and I have something now that has fully gotten me jazzed about trading again and all of that fun stuff. And it is PulseChain, baby. And we'll get all into it. I know you might have heard some crazy stuff. We'll get into all of the things. I've got the scoop for you, and this is going to be bullish. But as always, none of this is financial advice. And I'm even going to go further. Anything that I tell you guys, I've already bought, right? Like, I'm pumping my own bags. Like, seriously, any of this stuff, you guys have to take with a grain of salt. From if you're listening to it from myself, from anybody else, you need to go do your research, and you really need to understand market tops, market bottoms, to really maximize what you're doing. So if you see something that you like, go check it out, go do your research, and try to find a good entry. Don't just FOMO in because I told you, like, oh, this is the bottom, or oh, this is a good time. Like, seriously, make that decision for yourself. And I'm going to be doing some more videos on teaching people how to find bottoms and how to research, do some of those things as well. I don't want to be just somebody who's calling a bunch of shit coins, right? Like, I think I've learned a lot, right? And also, if you didn't know, I've started my own projects as well, which is kind of giving me a little peek behind the curtain. And I've learned a lot about the game, and I'm much better at calling coins and all of that stuff now. But at the same time, I want to be here as a resource for you, not somebody who's just like calling a bunch of shit coins and all that stuff. In fact, like I've got tons of things that I want to talk about, but I'm not even going to bring them up in this video because, I just don't want to be that shitcoin caller. However, PulseChain is definitely not a shitcoin. There's tons of opportunity going on with this. I mean, guys, if you have no idea what's going on, I mean, check it out. So kind of the genesis of what is PulseChain. It's a new layer one that was a fork of Ethereum. So right, it's like Matic, it's like Arbitrum. It's similar to all of those in that it's a layer one fork of Ethereum. However, there are some key differences on this that make it insanely bullish. And we'll get into all of that. But if you've been hearing, and by the way, this is all created by the same guy that created Hex. So Hex, we all know, had an absolutely insane 1000x run on the last one. I think it was number 2 behind Shiba. And it really took the space by storm. And this is really, this is the evolution of Hex, right? Hex was basically just a staking platform on ETH with really good tokenomics. And this is now a whole layer one with really, really good tokenomics. And, I've told some friends about it and they come back and they're like, oh, I did some research, it's a scam. I mean, you do research, you're going to see it's a scam. There's tons of people out there who are talking about it being a scam, all this stuff. Oh, the Hex cult destroys people, the cult of Hex. Hex is an obvious crypto scam and Ponzi scheme. Well, like, newsflash, they're all Ponzi schemes, right? Like, pick the best one. Like, whatever he's invested in, whatever this guy says is a Ponzi scheme, I guarantee you everything else that he's invested in, also a Ponzi scheme, right? He's just not going to say it that. But you guys can just find lots of Hex FUD. There's people in spaces right now talking a bunch of crap to about it. You kind of have to sift through it. And to be honest, guys, like when people are talking crap about something is the best time to get in. Like that's the time when it's on their market, on their mind, enough to talk smack about it, and they know it's there, right? It's way worse being in obscurity when nobody knows you. When everybody knows who you are and saying it's crap, like that's generally a good time. Again, don't take my word of advice for that, but like listen on your own. And most of you guys, I would imagine, are probably all XRP people. It's the same type of thing. They all call us crazy for investing in XRP, and we probably are a little bit. But that's how I like it, right? Once all of those people start turning around, saying like, oh, you were right, all this stuff, then we kind of have a signal for the bottom. But when everybody's calling you crazy, or that's a signal for the top when they all start turning around. When they call you crazy is the absolute best time. But what is it? What is PulseChain and what makes it different? Well, some of the things that make it different. One, you have the guy that's in charge of it, Richard Hart. I really like the guy. I don't want to be like a crazy fanboy or anything, but he's a genius, like flat out, bar none, one of the most intelligent guys in crypto. And one of the things that he does is he skirts the SEC. So this whole thing, everything he does, he's just like, yeah, I might just take the money and get Louis Vuitton bags. I might go buy some Lambos with it. I can't promise you anything. And so what that's doing is it's no longer, it removes the expectation of profits. He has, and by the way, if you guys get into this community, you start checking it out, you'll see all of the people kind of have this down. All of the people who are building projects within the chain are doing the same thing. When people ask inside their Telegram chats, like, oh, like, what do you guys think the price is going to go to? Like, there's like memes where it's like, no expectation of profits. We don't know. And there's even people who have been called by the FBI and CIA and were asked questions about it. And then they just know the game. And so like, oh yeah, we don't know. I mean, hope it works out, but we're not relying on Richard Hart or anything for any of that. And that's one of the sneaky ways that he's gotten around everything. And I really like it too, because it also makes the chain and what's going to be coming up a mystery. And mystery creates intrigue, it creates speculation. If people know the game, well, then there's no game, right? The game, and what makes this is, and what is so bullish is the fact that nobody knows what's going to be happening. And that's kind of interesting. And then when you start doing the research and checking it out, there's tons of cool ways that they can gamify this and bring a ton of people from ETH. So one of the things that they did, let me just go over here to this chart. One of the things that they did was by the way, if you don't know this yet, if you had an ETH wallet, there's probably a good chance you have free money in PulseChain. So if you go to, let's see here, you can see right here, basically, since it was a hard fork of ETH, any token that you had in ETH at the time of snapshot you get a copy of that token in your PulseChain wallet. So it's not the real thing, right? I'm looking at a wrap BTC, but this is PulseChain wrap BTC, P wrap BTC. Everybody who held wrap BTC in their wallet at the time of the snapshot basically has new wrap BTC in their PulseChain wallet. So any token that you guys had on ETH, as long I can't remember when the snapshot was. Honestly, I have no idea. But go check it out. Go open up your wallet, see what you have. Even DogeGF is on there. That was like the one thing that I had was freaking DogeGF, which is hilarious. And I think there's even some DogeGF trading going on. But anyways, what this does, a couple things. One, it's giving tons of people free money to come check out the chain, right? That is in and of itself going to be a absolute game changer. But then the other thing too is it allows for some really interesting incentivization models. So give me just a minute here, y'all. I'm gonna work this off the screen. Oh, actually, no, this is totally fine. Bear with me here, y'all. But yeah, you can go see. So they have these liquidity pools on here with pretty good yield. These were way better when it launched. And you get this token called the Ink token. It's the rewards token, similar to how Cake is or whatever. But Richard Hart did this. So it's where we kind of have to think is like, what are these moves, right, that could potentially happen on this chain to potentially rocket some of the particular assets on chain, help grow the whole chain itself, right? And one of the things that the community is speculating, again, this is all speculation, is that Richard Hart is going to be using some of these free token pairs, like this free wrap BTC, right, to launch liquidity pairs, liquidity farms, to bring in all of those ETH people to basically start putting that free money that they got to work for them. A lot of the ETH people are like, oh, it's a scam. Like, I'm not going to do that. They're just upset that it's pulling people from ETH. Well, like, hey, I'm sorry. It's going to happen whether or not you want it to. You might as well beat the herd, right? Like, you don't want to be the people holding on, like, for ETH. And ETH is, I'm not trying to trash talk ETH or anything. And I don't think this is going to hurt ETH. But the sentiment amongst ETH people is that it's going to hurt ETH, whatever. It is what it is. Just they can hate on it all they want. But interesting. Let me get back to this here as well. So back on May, I guess it was May 21st, Richard Hart did launch a wrap BTC pair on here for this little, it's a shitcoin. It's a shitcoin wrap BTC, but and it started with literally nothing. He, like, nobody put up any, there was no liquidity pools. This is all community. And it basically, like, that's how it all started. And he did, for about 6 hours, he did an ink pair with this wrap BTC, and it shot the price up from $56 all the way up to $27 in the span of a couple of hours. Then a couple hours later, he came out and said, "Oh, you know what? I can't do that. It's not decentralized enough. There needs to be more liquidity, right?" And so he pulled the pair. He didn't say he was going to do it again, but honestly, it kind of makes a little bit too much sense, right? To open up some of these pairs. There's anything. There's Link. There's Filecoin. There's Render. There's Quant. There's Doge. There's Dogecoin. There's Doge GF. Like, literally, freaking everything now has this new ecosystem that is kind of being built with crazy speculation. It's insane. So I mean, those are the other things. The other thing, so there's just a lot of different little nuances and stuff that you understand. You're like, oh wow, this dude's a genius. Like, he's built enough little trinkets in here to build out a runway over the course of however long it needs to be to keep bringing users in. The other thing too is this thing just launched, right? So here's the token for the gas token. The gas token is called PLS, and it launched about a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago. It topped out up here, and now we're down. I don't know exactly what this is. We'll just say we're down from 28 down to 8, so 60% loss, something like that off the top of my head. I have to get a calculator. So the entry is pretty decent. And if you go look at most layer ones, they have a similar trajectory, and then after it goes up, and then it dumps, and then the next run is the big one. But this is a great entry. I'm not telling you to buy right now. It could go down lower. We don't know. Again, that's one of those things I want you to figure out on your own. Learn those types of things. Happy to help over time. Make some more videos when I can. The other thing we got to watch out for is macro stuff going on. Who the heck knows? But overall, like I said, there's just tons of stuff that can go on here. Now, again, it's been out for a month, less than a month, and it's already got more volume. If you look over here, more than Avalanche, more than Solana, more than Phantom, more than Crypto.com. These are like ones that people would have considered blue chips in the last run. PulseChain is smoking them out of the water, and they just launched and there's no dApps, nothing, right? They're starting to come, and I'm going to give you a couple of little plays here at the end of this video. But imagine once more liquidity starts coming in, and there's a couple dApps that are coming that I think are just going to be absolute rocket fuel for this. And personally, I can see it overtaking Binance Smart Chain by the end of this run. I mean, Optimism, Polygon, Arbitrum, I mean, whatever, sure, cool, cheaper versions of ETH, but like, what is the reason people are going to use that? I don't know. PulseChain, people have free money on it, and then there's all sorts of crazy gamification stuff inside again, right? So this is a brand new, crypto casino that's open, guys. When you get in early on this type of stuff, that's the way to go. And looking at this right here, we've got a good little market. So this is the gas token. It's a daily chart. So this is pretty good macros. I mean, we're not going to see somebody be able to dump it much more than it already has. It obviously can go down more, but I mean, it's very perfectly mimicking our chart. Now the question is where are we at on the down cycle? We could be in denial. We could be in panic. We could be in anger, right? You just kind of have to pick one. I'm of the opinion you dollar cost out on the way up aggressively, and you slowly start dollar cost averaging in on the way down, and then as it gets to the bottom, you get more aggressive with it. So however you want to play it, it's up to you. Again, this is a complete casino. I really like it to stack more XRP. When it all kind of started, I moved some of my XRP over into this, was able to get all that XRP out and still have quite a bit to play with. That's kind of what I would be recommending. The money that I move out, I move into XRP. Turned out to be a great idea. And the XRP was growing while this was crashing. It's kind of a nice little savings account. I'd probably recommend to do some with stables too. But yeah, I mean, I think the potential on this is absolutely insane. I think you really need to, when there's haters out there, you just you need to sift like, hey, are these guys like, do they actually know what they're talking about, or are they actually haters? Because I've tried to go find like some good haters, and they're all just haters, right? They all just say the same thing, like the Pepe. Like there's a lot of people in Pepe right now. There's a new Pepe token, a new free shitcoin Pepe. Like there's everything. Like it's absolutely insane, and a lot of the Pepe people are upset because obviously, like, PulseChain's trying to get all of the Pepe people come check it out, and they're like, "Oh no, it's a scam." We're like, "Dude, you guys have free money. Like, what are you talking about?" And they're just upset. You just got to recognize they're just upset because we're stealing the thunder. That's it. Hey, sorry that Pepe topped out and it's not going back to all-time highs again. But you do have new opportunities here. You can get mad at us for showing you the game or not. But whatever. That's what's going on. You guys can go do your research. Just come over to Deck Screener, hit the PulseChain, and you can see all the tokens. This is how I've been finding all of my plays. There's a ton. I'm spread out all over the chain. And as little as 0.5% of my bag in certain shitcoin plays, 10% in certain bags, 1% in certain little things. But again, I'm just looking for opportunities, and they are literally everywhere. This is basically Binance Smart Chain starting all over again. All of the copycat projects are starting to get launched. And if you know what copycat projects do well, you can search for those and you can find them. I'm going to give you one here in a second that I really, really like. But let me also tell you another reason why I'm really bullish on PulseChain. And it's because of this project right here. This is called 9inch. So this is going to be the next DEX. So you know how like Uniswap has, or ETH has Uniswap and SushiSwap? This is going to have, PulseX, which is the main one. That'll be like the Uniswap. This one will be a little bit more like SushiSwap, right? Like the number two. But honestly, I could see this kind of even stealing some of the thunder from PulseX because I think it's better. This is going to have limit orders. Let me actually tell you why I think it's just good for the chain overall. I don't need to talk about why it's better than PulseX, but the main thing that I'm trying to tell you right now is why I think this is going to be huge. Because, the main thing the chain needs right now, it's everybody just playing with their Hex money. It's all the Hex people kind of playing around. It hasn't seen a huge influx of new users yet. I think that is going to be the thing that really sends it. Right now, it's just, like I said, it's just Hex people. But this right here, these guys are building their decks, the 9inch decks. It's funny, the rock hard decks. This is their little eggplant emoji. It's pretty funny because it's a dex, right? It's a dex measuring contest. Where's it at? Yeah, dex measuring contest. Their branding is really good. But this is the first dex that I have seen that's going to really focus on meme coins. And they're also launching on ETH. So what this is saying is there's going to be new liquidity pools, new yield farms out for the hypest ETH meme coins. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have Pepe. I'm pretty sure they're going to have Dogecoin. I don't know exactly how it's going to be, but I would guess, and this is the other thing, we don't know exactly how it's going to go. This is all speculation. The dev hasn't said too much because he can't, right? He can't really set expectations, and I like it that way. You can just assume what makes sense, what is going to make the most sense to bring on people. And it's going to be to offer hype yield farms for the Pepe token or whatever Pepe token on ETH. The ETH people will start using the ETH DEX, but then also the same exact yield farm with even more yield on the PulseChain side. So it's like, why would they not also put their like stuff to work on the PulseChain side, right? So then they're going to have to come in, they're going to have to get the gas token, that's going to pump up the gas token, and then all these people that have been hating the word, what I'm telling you guys, like, oh my gosh, this is an absolutely crazy casino, is going to start to get out, like absolutely. And this right here, it's crazy. So they they have something similar to an ICO, except it's called a sacrifice. You basically send your funds in. You can, these are the funds that you can send in, and then you get points based on how many points you have. Whenever the token launches, you get them automatically airdropped. Now, there is a way to double this, but you have to be a Rain Dancers holder. You got to hold my NFTs to get that. These are the Rain Dancers. They're for sale on XRP. You can hop in the Discord, and we have some coaching for our people over there as well. Just on kind of necessarily how to do that. Not necessarily trying to like be a gatekeeper or anything. I hate necessarily doing that. It's kind of more like but I also don't want to be this like shitcoin caller that's like doing all this. I'm just really trying to take a balanced approach and also add value to the holders who have invested in my project, right? Like what is something that I can do to boost their investment, right? So that's the main thing, but you can find it. If you guys just go do some research on how to get the bonus multiplier on this, you guys can find it for sure. Probably not that long, right? So, you don't have to buy the NFT to get it. I'm just saying if you do that. I'm also going to have all of my 9inch portfolio, or excuse me, all of my PulseChain portfolio available to everybody with all the research that I've done. So that'll be in there as well. But nothing crazy. But anyways, the sacrifice is going to be ending. They said no later than June 26th. So there's a couple of weeks, and I think who knows what could happen with PulseChain up until that point. We could see it go down. We could see it go up. We could see it go sideways. I have no idea, but I believe, this is again my opinion, not financial advice, that the chain will do well once this DEX launches. This is going to be the first, real DApp that can be used from other people, and it looks really good. It has more features than the Pulse DApp, right? It's gonna be better right out of the gate. There's going to be better statistics, better user interface, and I've seen it. You can go to the testnet and check it out. And then the other cool thing is they'll have limit orders. So this will be a DEX you can put in limit orders, and I know a lot of people are going to like that. So regardless, PulseChain, and like whatever you want to do, I think this is a great investment. I think PulseChain is a great investment. I think they'll synergize off of each other. But I'm going to be moving some of my funds from XRP at the end of this sacrifice date. So we can see here, we've got another 12 days, 18 out of 30 for the sacrifice to end. I don't want to be without my XRP for very long. So like on day 30, I'm going to be depositing some XRP in here. Not a lot, just a small amount. And then I'm going to be pulling it shortly. That way I can get my money back, keep it in XRP, because we also, who knows what's going to be going with that one as well. So that's kind of my strategy. I'm using this to boost my XRP bag and leave myself a little bit of room to make some more money as well, which, who knows what different fun ways I can do that. So anyways, 9-inch, great play, highly recommend it. Oh, the other reason it's super great, if you deposit $100, you're going to get $100 worth of tokens on ETH and on Binance. So you're already basically getting a 2x multiplier. Again, the liquidity has to be right for that, so it might not be exactly like that, but you do get double your tokens, some on ETH and some on PulseChain. So that's going to be really nice. Now, one token that I will shill really quick for you guys, because the entry is absolutely ridiculous. And I think if you guys have been around my channel long enough, I kind of like some of these plays that are really good. And this is Pulse Reflections, okay? We've all talked about reflections. We've all seen shitty reflections models, Safe Moon, Volt, like all this stuff, high taxes, high inflation. This one is insane. This is the first reflections model I've seen that deflates over time. So you own this, the Pulse Reflections token, PRS, you automatically get deposited PulseChain into your wallet, so the gas token. Then they also burn the primary token, so the Pulse Reflections token. So it's a reflections token that deflates over time while rewarding people in the primary gas token, which is what most people in the community want. It's brand baby new. We're looking at 5 days old right now, literally brand baby new. And we are on a 90% correction right now. It could not be more perfect. 90% correction is the zone. It could go down more, could go down a lot more. I don't know exactly. I'm not going to tell you with all that. But again, we start looking at these psychology of trading. Once we get down into this range right here, it's really just a matter of time. It's a matter of it goes up. Some people sell, right? They're like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with this. I want to get out. And just over time, this just washes out the non-believers and the weak hands, and then eventually they're all gone. And then by the time they're off, boom, it goes up again. And again, who knows what that's going to be? But this token, I mean, we're kind of getting to that level. It's like I said, it's on a 90% crash in 3 days, brand new. I really like this one. I mean, this is what got me hyped to start talking about it. And you see this little blue line here? I'll be super transparent. The blue line is my average entry. So at the 51, it's down at a 28.41. If you can get in below me, you can beat me on my bag, essentially, right? So obviously I am trying to pump my bag, but I genuinely wouldn't be telling you something like this if it was at the top. There are other tokens that I've bought, and there are closer to the top or mid pump or any of that stuff. But this is kind of in that money zone right now. Again, could go down a little bit more. We never know. But I've definitely parked some chips here. We'll say that for sure. You can also go check it out here on their website, or at least on the token screener. This right here, let me blow this up for you guys. This right here is the burn wallet. So in 5 days, more than 4% of the supply has already been burned, and the volume is honestly not that crazy insane. Once that volume starts picking up, the burn rate is going to go up, the pulse reflections rate is going to go up. This supply is going to shrink pretty quick, which is honestly great. Honestly, like I mean, that's just something that I think is going to be bullish over time. This is actually one of the first reflections token that I've seen. Now, I would never tell anybody to hold a token forever and wait for 1000x. I'm definitely not that guy, but I can see this one sustaining longer runs because it doesn't inflate like the other ones. The other reflections tokens, they inflate, you get it, people dump it, it puts sell pressure on the market. This one is pretty much all buy pressure, right? I'll be 100% honest. The way that the reflections work is they do get, some of the PRS goes to a wallet, and then once that wallet reaches a threshold, they sell. So there is a little bit of sell pressure, but it's very, very small. And then once that wallet reaches a threshold, which is also very, very small, it sells. So it's never putting any big orders in on the market, and it's doing it over time. So like a tiny little 2% tax on something like that, I think is fair, and I think it can still help grow. And then the best thing is, it's not like when they sell it, it's going to some random wallet. It's going back to you. 2% of all trades go to reflections. So yeah, absolutely insane. So 3% tax total, 2% goes towards reflection, 1% gets burned. I mean, I think this is something that's absolutely going to go nuts. Total market cap right now, 44K. Again, we got this XRP news coming out with Hinman. There's all this stuff. I'm not telling you what to do, but if you guys want to enter a new casino, take some new risks, maybe get rid of some of your ETH or some of your Quant or some of those tokens that you might not be as gung-ho on about as XRP. I think it would be a good play to move some of those into this chain because I think this has a way bigger chance of price appreciation than a lot of the other ones. So again, yeah, check it out, guys. I mean, if you have any questions, hop into my Discord. Let me know. I'll put that down in the link below. If you guys get some rain dancers, there will be some special channels up where I'll be sharing basically every single move that I make. I've been doing pretty good, y'all. Like, I'm not going to lie. While everything has been crashing, let's go. Yeah, this is the wrap PLS. I've been making money on this chain while everything's crashing, right? Like I said, there's literally opportunities everywhere. I'll leave it at that. If you guys can go sleuth around, who knows what you guys might find. You guys might find something that's better than what I've found. There's a few projects that I found that I was too late, and I didn't want to get in on it. So, but anyways, y'all, much love as always. I hope you guys like PulseChain. Don't listen to the FUD. PulseChain's going to go to the moon. XRP's going to go to the moon. I think being in both of those offers a little bit of diversification, a little bit of peace of mind. That's just me. Like I said, do your own research. Check it out. But anyways, y'all, I'm out. I got Zelda here. Say hi. Zelda's out. We're going to go. Y'all be good. Much love. Peace.